Welcome back to the restaurant show. As you may know, eating is one of my favorite pastimes. I don't know about you ladies, but it can be tough to do when you're busy on the go and also do it healthy. So we have a special segment for you today. We've got two fabulous registered dietitians who are joining us from Upland HIlls Health. This is Susan Portz and Laura Isaacson, and I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
Now, I mean what I said. Sometimes it's really hard to do things and know how to incorporate healthy choices into your diet. So you're going to do some options for us today that viewers at home can incorporate and that you are helping clients with at Upland Hills on a regular basis.
That's right.
So we're starting with grilled salmon and lemon kabobs. So while you're preparing that, talk us through it a little bit, but also just why is fish? What's so great about salmon? Why do we need to incorporate it?
Well, the reason I chose this recipe, first of all, it's very simple. So even if you can't cook, you can easily make this at home. Fish is so healthy for you because it's high in omega-3 fatty acids. You may have heard about that. There's different types of fats. Omega-3 fatty acids are beneficial for you because they have been shown to help lower the incidence of heart disease and cancer.
Got it.
They're also anti-inflammatory, so if you have Crohn's disease or arthritis or asthma or any type of disease that is inflammatory, it's helpful for that. There's been studies that have shown that omega-3 fatty acids help to reduce depression and Alzheimer's.
Wow.
The main thing that they do is with your cholesterol, they lower your LDL or your bad cholesterol and raise your HDL or your healthy cholesterol.
That's incredible. So it actually has the ability to lower bad cholesterol.
That's right.
Too.
Yep.
So it's kind of like working, it's a natural drug in a sense.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Yep.
Okay, so that's great. And I want to know a little bit about some of the differences between the types of salmon because there's a lot of there's a lot to know, right?
Yes.
We don't always know what to pick, but talk to us about farm-raised versus wild-caught. What's the hype there? What's the difference?
Well, it's kind of a personal preference, similar to organic vegetables.
Sure.
So it's definitely a personal preference, but the main difference is that wild-caught is about double the cost. So if you're on a tight budget and you're concerned about the cost, I would just go with the farm-raised. No matter which you choose, salmon is so incredibly healthy for you. Both are good.
It's still good for you.
It's still good for you, even farm-raised.
Okay.
However, if you are willing to spend a little bit more money, I would consider the wild-caught. Wild-caught is usually caught in Alaska, and the waters there are very clean. They're pristine. In Alaska, the fishing regulations are very, very tightly controlled. So all of the fishing is fully sustainable there, all of the fishing practices. And so you're being environmentally friendly by that and not overfishing the waters.
Okay.
Also, the fish are eating what they would naturally find in their diet. And so the fish are actually more healthy. The fish are higher in omega-3 fatty acids. In farm-raised fish, they're eating usually corn or soy, and that's just not what they eat normally, so it's not as good for the fish.
Okay.
Also, in farm-raised, they're usually in tanks, and they're really overcrowded, so the waters get kind of contaminated.
Sure.
And so the fish itself just isn't quite as clean.
Got it.
So, it's really kind of a personal preference, and kind of for a lot of people comes down to price.
Price, sure. So there's a lot of benefits to the wild-caught versus farm-raised, but overall the health benefits still exceed any of the downsides of the farm-raised.
Yes, it's better than a lot of other things you're going to have in your diet, even if it's farm-raised. So either one, choose to eat fish.
And now what did you just add? So we've got salmon, we've got, obviously we can see that there's pieces of lemon that have been skewered on these as well, and then you added, what was going on top?
I put a little bit of olive oil on top, and then I have this seasoning mixture, which is oregano, red pepper flakes, kosher salt, cumin, and sesame seeds. I'm just going to put these on the grill.
Okay.
They're going to cook for about 5 to 8 minutes. When they're opaque, they're done. And usually you're going to want to rotate them once or twice while they're cooking.
Got it. Perfect. Okay, so how long do these cook then?
I've had these on for about 7 minutes, anywhere between about 5 to 8 minutes. And when it starts looking opaque, you know that it's done.
Okay. And we'll let those go a little bit longer, and let's talk about let's get to dessert. Let's cut to the chase here, right? So you can do a peach frozen yogurt that is relatively simple.
Yes,
That's healthy.
definitely.
So explain what we do.
So basically all I'm going to do is these are frozen peaches that I just got at the store.
Okay.
And throw them into the food processor. And then...
So all you do is just buy them frozen. You don't even have to You don't have to do anything fancy.
No.
It can be easy. Okay, I
Yeah,
like that.
you don't have to like buy the fresh. You can buy fresh ones
Okay.
in the store, but you definitely don't have to. And then this is just plain Greek yogurt.
Perfect.
that I'm just gonna throw in there with them.
And what are the benefits of trying to include fruit in your diet? It's a little controversial in some ways. Sometimes you hear too much fruit is bad, or fruit's got too much sugar. What are we doing here? Why do we use fruit?
So fruit is considered like a natural sugar.
Okay.
We have the added sugars and natural sugars. So natural sugars, it's basically how it sounds. It's natural. So it came from a plant.
Okay.
And that's what makes fruit such a good option, because with the natural sugar that's in there, it doesn't give you like that sugar rush or that you'd get from like added sugars that are in like cookies or brownies, stuff like
and
that.
there's a cleansing benefit to it as well, as far as I know. And as long as we can get the top on,
As
right?
long as we can get this on, we're good to go.
Okay, so let her rip. This is what we do. And you added honey also. so
Yes,
that's
I
good.
did add honey. That just kind of helps sweeten it up a little bit. So you might have to
Look at that. Nice and easy. Perfect. So you might do that a little longer at home, but in the
Yeah.
essence of time, we'll go ahead and show it off. And it smells nice and fruity and delicious, and looks like
Yes.
ice cream. So I think it counts as
Yeah.
ice cream.
Definitely. And you could also put this back in the freezer
Ooh,
afterwards.
freeze it a little. Good tip. Now, do we
If-
need this food processor? Can you do this in a blender, do you think?
You could do this in a blender, or you could probably maybe even do this in like a magic bullet if you have
at
one.
that. Wow, okay.
If you stuck this back in the freezer, it would definitely be more solid.
Creamy and ice creamy. I love it. But it looks like a delicious dessert, even not at a real cold temperature, like a really good yogurt
Right.
or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll hit the spot.
All right. So before we go, really quick, how often should people do fish?
3 times a week.
Okay.
Yep.
And you guys have some wonderful programs at Upland Hills Health that we didn't really get a whole lot of time to talk about, but buying local, trying to do more from scratch, and some great classes. So where
Yep.
can people find out more information
Check
about
out our
classes?
website, uplandhillshealth.org. Look under the events section, and you can sign up for our classes through there.
Fabulous. So if you think you may benefit from a registered dietitian, talk to your doctor, ask for a referral. These ladies are wonderful. This is Laura Isaacson and Susan Portz from Upland Hills Health. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Restaurant Show after this. Stick with us.